Welcome to Elliott's PT podcast. I'm here to help you find your balance and live your best life guilt-free. I don't believe there is a one-size-fits-all approach for health and fitness. We're all different and we need to find out what works for us. I'm passionate about helping people make realistic, long-term lifestyle changes that they will stick to and they will take with them forever. I don't believe in crazy diets or short-term fixes. We all need to live and find a perfect balance in diet and exercise that suits our individual needs. I want to help you find your exercise mojo, feel great and achieve wonderful things. Here is Elliott's PT podcast by Renae Elliott. Hello, and welcome to Elliott's PT podcast. Today I wanted to give some tips on how to help you get started if you wanted to get started on a weight loss journey, and some things that you could put in practice today and how you could just get started straight away. Okay, so my first tip on to getting started is I think people tend to think that everything is more complicated than what it needs to be. We need to be doing something really strict, or this is really strict, or it has to be putting ourselves through pain or any of those things. And what I really try to get people to understand is it doesn't have to be that way, that it definitely doesn't have to be that way at all. And that when you are looking to find if you are on a weight loss journey, or you're wanting to increase your energy, or you're wanting to feel better, the key is finding something that works for you and your lifestyle. And that's why when I'm running my program, such as the Little Black Dress, it's all tailored to suit you, because I can't just give you I am not going to just give you a menu plan and ask you to follow that menu plan, because you're not actually going to learn anything. So if you are starting out on a journey, you've got to my first tip is don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated, and it's really just stripping it back to basics. And all these fancy things that you might see, they might have benefits in some ways, but you don't need that to get started. You just need to start, and start off slowly and find things that are realistic and that you can stick to for life, and then add on to them. And the more that you start doing that, it'll become the norm. The biggest thing I hate seeing is seeing people do different types of diets, and they'll say, well, I did this and this diet worked. Well, obviously it didn't work, because you haven't lost the weight, or you haven't kept the weight off. So those things might work in the short term, but they don't work in the long term. People are very impatient and maybe we are getting worse as a society because of mobile phones and having all those things around us all the time, and having things at the drop of a hat. We don't have to wait as long as what we used to, and it maybe does make us all a lot more impatient with things. But anything that is a quick fix, it's generally not going to last long term, and you don't want that. And then you're going to get into this yo-yo cycle, which I don't want anyone to be in. So that was my first tip would be it doesn't have to be complicated. Go back to basics, and you don't need anything fancy, any of those things. Just strip it back to the basics. Okay, so if we were on a weight loss journey, the next thing I would ask you is to focus on protein. So if you're looking at your food, I would focus on protein. And this is the major thing that I think most people are missing. So it's very controversial, the health benefits of fats and carbs, but generally it is quite universal, the thoughts that protein is important for our bodies. So most people, they eat enough protein to not be deficient in it, or just to get by, but definitely when individuals increase their protein, they can definitely see a big difference in weight loss, increasing their performance in different things and that. And most people I come across, that's the number one thing that people are under eating in, is their protein. Now, as a rough guide, Again, it's individual to you, individual to your goals. But if you put your weight into pounds, whatever weight your weight is at pounds, you want to eat 80 to 100% of that in protein. That's a very, very rough guide. You want to, so if you look at your weight, whatever that is in pounds, and then you want to eat 80 to 100%, if not more, of protein as a minimum. So look at that. And so why do you hear people talking about protein? Why is important, and how can it be beneficial to you? So protein is known to reduce your appetite and your hunger. So it definitely does fill you up more, and it reduces the hunger hormone ghrelin. So and the effects of your appetite can be quite powerful. And one study that I looked at showed that if you increased your protein by 15 to 30% of your total calories, it made overweight women eat about 441 fewer calories each day without intentionally restricting any food. So that's pretty good. So I always find people, they tend to see that they're hungry, or you might get to that 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you find that you're more hungry, and then you eat anything you can see. But if you're eating more protein, those stuff doesn't happen because you are fuller for longer. So it's definitely good in reducing your appetite. We can stop you binging out on food. Another reason you would want to increase your protein is because it increases your strength and your muscle mass. So this is a big thing, and as part of the project, we are aiming to lose fat. A lot of people have a goal to lose fat, but we want to maintain your muscle. Muscle is really important for our overall health. So the more muscle you have, the better. And really the protein, so it's your building blocks for your muscles, and eating adequate amount of protein is going to help you maintain your muscle mass. So a big thing that I said that we focus on people reducing their fat down, but still being able to maintain that protein. In the goal of, if you have a weight loss goal, we're going to aim to just maintain it, because if you're looking to increase your muscle, we have to eat differently. So that's another thing that you have to take into account. And when you are eating a diet high in protein, it's going to promote muscle growth when you are doing strength training. So if you are someone that wants to increase your muscle mass, you are definitely going to have to make sure that protein is a big focus in your food. Another reason that you would be wanting to have more protein is it is good for your bones. So studies have shown that people that have a higher protein diet, they tend to maintain their bone mass better as they age, and they have a lower risk of osteoporosis and fractures. Now this is massive for me, because I feel that the stronger I can be physically, I can age better and prevent myself from age-related falls or not being able to do certain activities. So it's a really important factor for me. After the age of 30, if you're not actively working on your muscle, you actually start to lose it. So it is really important to help and maintain the muscle, because it helps your bones. And it is especially important for women who are at a higher risk of osteoporosis after menopause. So you want to be making sure that you are getting a higher protein diet, and most people will be blown away by how much better they'll feel when they eat more protein, or how little protein you're eating. When I ask people for to talk about their food, or we go through those things, we do see that people's protein is quite low, or they might not eat any protein during the day and only have their protein at the night time just before they go to bed. By increasing your protein, you are going to be able to reduce your cravings and your desire for snacking. So as I said before, when we're eating our protein and you're trying to distribute it throughout the day, that you definitely don't have those cravings, because you're not having your dips. And most people, the more that you think about it, or the more you become aware about it, you'll notice that when you have a day that you eat less protein, you will tend to have those bigger cravings. I try to focus on when I try to focus on, I try to split it up during the day. So the more that I'm doing that, I'm giving my body a chance to repair, to maintain, to work on my muscles, maintain my muscle mass. So I'm giving it a chance, and I'm not having those big dips. But if I do find it, I'm craving anything, I just think, what protein source can I have? So I do find sometimes that, that if I haven't eaten properly during the day, because either I'm not prepared or I'm busy, then I find that when it comes to that dinner time, I'm making dinner and I'll kind of eat anything. And sometimes when you're doing that, you could eat like 500-600 calories, in that snacking phase, which can, really blow you over. And then people wonder why they're not losing weight. So I think, okay, get a protein shake. So, and I do use, to get my protein up, I do use a protein shake to supplement my diet, because I find it an easy way to get protein in, and I can have it on the go, because I am quite busy and I'm always on the go with things. So I can take a protein shake, drink that in the car as I'm driving, and move on with my day. So having a high protein diet would definitely reduce cravings and your desire for snacking, because you'll be fuller. Another benefit of having a protein is it's known to boost your metabolism and increase fat burning. So any form of eating, it can boost your metabolism for a short time, and it's because that your body's got to use calories to digest and make use of the nutrients in the food. And so this is referred to the thermic effect of food. So, but not all foods are the same, and protein is known to have a higher thermic effect than fats and carbs. So it'll burn at, say, 20 to 25% compared to 5 to 15%. So a higher protein intake has been shown to significantly boost your metabolism and also increase the number of calories that you're burned. So different studies have shown that it could be 80 to 100 more calories burned just by increasing your protein. So it is really important for getting that protein. It's also known to help maintain weight loss. So when one study showed that a higher protein diet, it boosted your metabolism, and it led to a reduction in the calorie intake. And overweight women who ate 30% of their daily calories from protein, they lost 5 kilos in 12 weeks, and they didn't have to intentionally restrict anything. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't have to change anything else, but if you just changed one thing, you could just increase your protein, and you would be generally eating less calories. You would be burning up more. You would probably be able to lose weight without having to do much else. So as I said, it's one simple little hack that you can try. Other people that I know that have increased their proteins, they have found that they've noticed a big difference in their energy levels. They have been able to get through their work day a lot better. They've been less stressed. So there is many I of just increasing your protein. So if you are wanting to start out on doing something, I would start number one by increasing your protein. The next tip, so the next thing I would recommend to do if you are looking for weight loss, is get rid of any distractions. So if you have any distractions, go through your pantry and get rid of that. Any foods. So if there's foods that you know don't serve you, they're not going to serve what your goal is, get rid of them. Don't have them there. Even if your kids really have to want them, or your husband will then speak to them about it, but get rid of them. I'm a chocolate person and I love chocolate and I eat it. But if I have lots of chocolate in the house, then I'm going to eat it. So I try to not have that there, because it's not benefiting it's not going to benefit me, or it's not helping me work towards what my goal is. So get rid of the distractions. Go through your fridge, get rid of them. Speak to your family, say what you were trying to do, but get rid of that stuff, because if it's not there, you're not going to go for it in those times. In the same respect, I also ask people to look for alternatives. So there's so many different foods out there now that are alternative to, like if you're a sweet person, there is alternative sweet that aren't as high in calories, but it's still going to give you that fix that you liked. So I would look for those alternative things and make sure that you've got those available. So then when you have a sweet craving, I'm just going to use sweet as an example, or chips or whatever, then you can have that. So have those things so you've got that better option available to you. So it's still going to satisfy you, you're still going to get that fix, but it's not going to blow your calories out, which is then going to either not help you in a weight loss goal. The next tip I would say is if you're wanting to go for weight loss, I would make sure that you are going to include foods, the things that you like. So I see lots of people coming to me and they'll say, I want to, I'm not going to drink alcohol. So they'll say, we're doing this Little Black Dress project goes for 8 weeks and I'm not going to drink alcohol for 8 weeks. And I'm like, well, are you going to drink alcohol after? They're like, yes. Well, I don't want any of that. So we don't want any of this stopping and starting, and I'm only going to do this for a short term because it's all about a lifestyle. So you have to realistically think of things that are going to work for your life. So if you enjoy a drink, then maybe look at instead of drinking a whole bottle of wine, maybe have a glass, or look at how you can fit it into your day with putting it into MyFitnessPal. Look at some alternatives like a spirit and soda or anything like that. If you have a sweet tooth like I do, then again, include that sweet item. So include what that is, because the more that you don't have it, you are just going to crave it and want it. So a big thing is make sure that you have that thing that you really want or desire. If you are, I know some people that are savory, so they like chips and stuff. Well, instead of having a large packet of chips, buy the smaller packets of chips. They're like 100 odd calories. And another task that we do is we do a mindful eating task, which gets you to actually stop and eat slowly and really smell it, taste it, get the feel of it, because again, you're then going to be satisfied. You're going to have that thing that you like, and you're not going to blow out in your calories. So I find that people, especially, I'm sure you have seen things about it before, but I find that people go, okay, I want a chocolate. No, I'm not going to eat a chocolate. I might eat this instead, or this has got a little bit of chocolate on it. So they might then eat one other alternative food. They've eaten that, and they're still not satisfied. Oh, I'll have this instead. And they then end up eating 4 or 5 different things. That's then been like, say 500 odd calories, and they should have just eaten the chocolate to start off with and moved on. So that's what I'm asking for you. Just make sure when you're planning this out, or you're thinking about what you want to do, don't deny all. I see people that do that all or nothing mentality, and it might work in the short term, but it doesn't work in the long term. Think about any other diet that you've done, any diet you've done previously. It didn't work long term because you put the weight back on. So you don't want to do that again. So you've got to do the things that work for you. And if you really enjoy having a meal out, if you really enjoy doing this, then see how you can make it work for you. If you enjoy having a meal out, then plan around it. Plan your day around eating that meal out, and how you can not blow out in your calories, because you're still having that meal out. So I find that's a really, really important thing, and to make sure that you're putting these things in your place. And when you have that, the idea in your head that this is a lifestyle, so I'm just going to make some small changes that I'm going to be able to stick to forever. So think about before you think about cutting anything out. I want you to think, am I going to do this for life? Am I never going to eat this? If the answer's no, then work out, then maybe it's not the thing you should be cutting out at the moment. Maybe you should look at reducing it, or looking for like a sweeter alternative or something like that. I know people that have say been big soft drink drinkers, and like I find like soft drink is a really easy thing that doesn't give you, it's empty calories, and you can just cut that out and you'll lose, you will notice a big difference in weight loss. But some people struggle to, but maybe go to the the diet or the zero sugar versions, and then wean yourself off that, and you will notice a massive difference when you cut back on those things. So that's what I'm saying. It has to be something that you can realistically stick to for life. The last tips that I have just starting out is to make sure we drink plenty of water. I think water is really underestimated, how important water is in our body and how dehydration plays a big factor. I think lots of us don't realize that that we are dehydrated, and a lot of time we mistake dehydration for actually that we're hungry. When we sleep, you use a liter of water just to sleep. So when we wake up, we're dehydrated, and then we have a cup of, if you have a coffee first thing in the morning, then you're having a coffee which dehydrates you again. So I would try to just make sure that you are really increasing your water and drinking a lot of water. There isn't any like universal agreed quantity that we should have. There's lots of different theories online, but there's not, again, I think the thing is really listen to your body. There's not a universally agreed quantity of water that we should drink every day, but obviously look at, think use a liter to sleep. So you want to replace that when you get up in the morning. So have a couple of glasses of water. How much coffee do you drink a day? Well, coffee dehydrates you, so maybe you should be increasing it after. And I know personally that I notice a big difference when I drink more water. I get water headaches if I've not drunk enough during the day. 60% of our body is made up of water, and 90% of our blood is made up of water. So our blood's got to travel around and deliver oxygen to our bodies. Water is also essential for our kidney function and other bodily functions, and it maintains our blood pressure. It flushes out body waste. It aids our digestive system. It makes the minerals and nutrients accessible. So, if you're wanting to get on a wanting to start increasing your health and fitness at home, these are some simple things that you can all do, and you can start off with today. So increasing water is a big thing. And my last thing that I would recommend to start with is just move more. So just move more. You don't need to do any big crazy workouts. If you're just starting off and you're maybe a bit shy and you're not sure where you want to start, just start moving more. The number one thing is just start walking. We all have access to being able to walk. Okay, you can go outside, you can go anywhere, but get your steps in. And it shocks me how little people move in a day. When I see people, that do 2,000 steps in a day or 1,000 steps, or, you can move more. We're very sedentary. And, it could mean that you get up, if you normally get up at 6, you could get up 15 minutes earlier and just go for a little walk. You can park your car further away from where you need to park and walk further. You can, go out in your lunch break and move more. I had a lady a couple of challenges ago, and the only thing, so she did 2 PT sessions a week, so she maintains that. She it didn't change her food. She ate the same type of food, but the only thing she changed was she increased her steps. So she went out and she got up in the morning and she walked. She had an office job, so she was quite sedentary. She got up, she walked. She walked during her lunch break, and she made sure she was reaching 12,000 steps a day, which is a goal that I set in the Little Black Dress. So she did that, and she got massive results. She got amazing results, and she didn't change anything else. She just moved more. So it's something that you can start off with. It's something that you can just start off with and just start moving more. Just start walking. Get your steps in. If you don't know how many steps you get a day, if you don't have a watch that tracks, then look at your phone. Your phone will tell you, or just try to increase your daily movement. So go, okay, I am going to do 2 20-minute walks a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and see how that goes. If 20 minutes is too long, do 2 10-minute walks. If you feel like it's too much with kids and then you can't do it, stick them in the pram. The kids love it. Stick them on the bike, or I'm going to go for a walk when your partner gets home. Just you can fit it in. It's all possible. You just need to make it happen for you. A good habit that I learned is when you're trying to start something new, is to stack it with another habit you already have. And that was from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. So stick your habit to something else that you already do. So if you already, for me, what worked is I was running every day, and I said I was going to do yoga, but I didn't associate it with a time. So I didn't associate with time. So every day, I said I was going to do it in the evening, and I never did it. And then I read this book, and it talked about stacking your habits and putting it with something you already do. So then I thought, okay, I run in the morning, so I'm going to get up 15 minutes earlier, and I'm going to do 15 minutes of yoga before I go on my run. And I started it the next day, and I did it every day. And it happened because I stacked with another habit. So if you're wanting to increase your steps, look at what's a habit you already have and stack it with that. So that's some of my tips to, if you are just wanting to get started with doing something, if you're wanting to get started on a weight loss journey, they are the things that you could do. So I'll go through them again. So the first tip was, don't make it complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. So to get that out of your head. Number 2 was make protein your focus. Make protein your focus in your diet. Number 3 was get rid of distractions. Any distractions you have, get rid of them. Number 4 was ensure that you are including the foods that you like into your diet. Make sure that you've got them there and that you're not restricting on things, because this is a lifestyle and you've got to find something that you can stick to for life. Number 5 was look for alternatives, and then kind of work that from there. So if you are, if you are a sugar person, if you're a chocolate person, if alcohol, those types of things, look for alternatives that are still going to help you reach your goal, but maybe aren't so high in calories, but they're still going to give you that sweet fix or that social thing that you need. So like switching to spirit and soda. The next, number 6 was drink plenty of water. And number 7 was to get your steps in. Get your steps in and move more. But it doesn't have to be crazy exercise. Just start moving more and get, I make my people do 12,000 steps a day. But, if you're only getting 2,000, just try to increase from there and see how much you can do. So that's my tips for getting started. Make sure that if you think that this could benefit anybody, please share it with them, and make sure that you tag me and let me know if you have shared it. And I would really love to hear from you if this has helped you. Have a great day.